Hi, I'm Masha, and today I would like to invite you to sketch with me an artichoke. For my sketch, I will use an ink pen, a graphite pencil, soft one, and two brushes, one small and another one that can hold a lot of water for washes. These are foldable watercolor brushes. I will use also DeepDeepLight watercolors. I have selected 2 purple pinks, 3 greens, and 1 gray color. My first green is Solstice Fern. It is a very warm, bright green that granulates and brings a bit of yellow in it. I will use it for the brightest parts of my sketch. The second color is Forest Green. It's a dark and very beautifully granulating green color. Third green that I have chosen is Soul of the Oak. It has a bit of purple in it, and I think it works perfectly for this particular sketch. I love this color very much. As a purple, I've chosen Bramble. It is also granulating, and it goes from dark purple to blue. To add some pink to my greens, I've chosen Ultramarine Rose. I'll add a tiny bit of it to my drawing. And I love this nice pink, gray, brown color called Fly. I think it will work very well together. So this is my palette. I really like how colors go well together. And as you can see, you can find all of those colors in this beautiful artichoke. So let's sketch. I begin with a line sketch directly with my ink pen. I'm using gray waterproof ink. That way I can add washes of watercolor on top of it. I start with studying just the overall form of it and very lightly putting it on the paper. So now I have this overall shape and I can start working on the details. I'm starting from the bottom and I build up the leaves, the shape. I'm trying to understand how it's built. In general, it resembles the pine cone. So the leaves come from one to another. I work through the details. On the top I'm not very precise because there is a lot of things that I can do also with watercolor. So this one is done, and I want to sketch the half of the artichoke on another page. Here again, I start with an overall shape, and then I go into the details and study how it's built, what are the lines. Try to sketch what you see and not what you think you see. My line work is done, and now I can begin working with watercolors. I start with bright green. I add a lot of water to it, and very loosely I add color to my artichoke. I try to follow the movement of the petals of the leaves. Now, when the green layer is still wet, I add a bit of bramble to the most darkest parts, to the purple part of my artichoke. And as you can see, they blend perfectly together. I will keep building volume and color. On the same wet layer, I'm adding also a bit of Soul of the Oak, Forest Green, Bramble. I'm playing around with those darks, but I keep them light and I work quickly to make sure that the paper is still wet. On the top of the artichoke and on the top of the top leaves, there are some nice pink shades, so I add a bit of ultramarine rose. My paper is still wet, so the colors mix together on the paper beautifully. So the first layer is done. While it's drying, I'm doing the same for the cut artichoke. Here I'm playing around with some pinks, purples, and again, very loosely I add the main colors. For this one, I want to keep it light and probably not color everything. We'll see how it works. When my first layer is dry, I add a bit of more depth and details. This is the moment where you can work wet on dry and add some darker parts of the leaves, a bit of depth. Try not to overwork. I also add a bit of form to the petals with light green and work a bit more on darker details on the second artichoke as well. I add depth, shadows. I've had some splashes, so I added a bit more of them. And I also like to add a bit of texture to the darker parts with the graphite pencil and add some leaves and elements and depth. Here I understood that I need a bit of shadow on the left side of my artichoke to show the form. So I mix a very transparent green-gray from all the colors that I have on my palette and very carefully add it on the left side as a shadow. And I do the same on this one. I think it adds very much to the form. Make sure that this color is transparent and that your sketch is completely dry, so the previous layers will be seen through. When this last layer is done, I also decided to add a bit more details with pencil. As you can see, with these details I come back and forth, but then I stop and I'm done. Here it is. I hope you enjoyed sketching with me.